Conor, he's back, and it just shows how much he loves the sport. It shows that he's still that fighter, despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him.
Something has changed. Every new piece of training footage coming out of McGregor's camp has completely shifted the conversation.
Kind of both, and I think if Conor can put himself back into the grind and be hungry into that hell zone that, you know, he has to see it in a way that my
Mystic Mac. We need Mystic Mac back, where he's just in.
Yeah. To see like he's in the tunnel, but the light is after the fight. It's I have to go through that journey in order to see the light. But I'm not gonna put myself in the light until I'm done with the fight. That's if he put himself into that zone, we're gonna have a hell of a fight.
And suddenly, the MMA world is asking a question that nobody seemed interested in asking just a few months ago. What if we've all underestimated this comeback?
For Conor, he hasn't been in there. He's dealing with a leg injury. One guy that had that same leg injury and spoke candidly about it is Chris Weidman. Hall of Famer, world champion, one of the GOATs. Chris Weidman is that good. And he said, man, I question that leg. I question, should I throw it for a kick? I questioned, can I take a kick? I question, can I push off it? I question, should I lead it or should I stash it behind me and switch my stance? So Conor's going to be dealing with those things. No matter what a Superman Conor is.
That's exactly why UFC 329 has become one of the most fascinating fights the sport has seen in years.
It'd be fun to see him.
It'd be
fight
a lot of fun.
times.
It'd be a lot of fun.
It's the greatest
to see him
personality
again.
the sport's
Yeah,
ever known.
That's right.
There's no one even close. I mean, he's the most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
This isn't simply another comeback story. This is Conor McGregor attempting to prove that everything people believed about his career over the last few years was wrong.
Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. And I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. You know, me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. You know, Conor, he's back. And it just shows how much he loves the sport. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. I'm proud of him. And I think he's just great, man. The businessman that he's been for our sport, you know, he teaches fighters that we can be more than just fighters. You know, we could take our brand and do something special with it, which he did with Paw Patrol whiskey and everything. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. You know, he has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs.
Every sprint, every sparring session, every heavy bag combination, and every clip released online seems to tell the same story. McGregor isn't preparing just to compete. He's preparing to make a statement.
Feeling.
Feel great.
Yeah.
Feel absolutely amazing. Thinking stellar. What is my perception? No corners cut. You know, no flash or. We've been quiet this camp. Yeah, we've been at work. So that's confidence. You know, there's a lack of confidence if you need to share things or get this ego boost. We don't need it. We're gonna do it on the night. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for my team.
Go and show that. And that makes me happy. Rather than me sitting here and spouting to you, oh, but this and that. And then it's nothing, it's just words. I'll say something now, I've got my date to show it. And that is when I'm gonna show it.
Are you looking forward to fight week, the press conference, all the stuff that you haven't had a chance to take part in? Do you miss all of that?
You know, I am ready for it. Because that can be taxing. But I am ready for it. You know, that takes it out here. But I'm ready for it. And what I am most looking forward to is the bout, the walk, the fight, the announcement, the crowd, the exchanges, and the dominating performance that I plan to put on.
The biggest difference people keep pointing towards isn't simply the physique. Everybody expected McGregor to get himself back into shape. What has surprised people is how he's moving. The speed looks natural. The reactions appear sharp. The confidence that made him one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history suddenly seems to be returning.
It's bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. It's always in your face. It's constant movement. It's touch, touch, go, touch, touch, move, move, advance, play. It's constant activity. But he doesn't have that one punch power, that shotgun. That's what Conor has. Conor's always had that shotgun. If that left hand lands, it's game over. And he's laser focused with it. So you've got a person who needs to be on that, and then you've got someone who goes boom, 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 boom. If one of them lands, the fight's over.
And that's exactly why so many fans have become obsessed with analyzing every second of footage released from camp.
Tell me you think Conor McGregor is going to win. What I'm hearing is you think Conor's going to knock Max out. And if you tell me you think Conor's going to knock Max out, what I'm hearing is that you think Conor can get him out of there in the first round. That sounds right. If Conor's going to get the jump on Max, and particularly the way that Conor fights, right? More of a striker. That's harder to do as you get fatigued.
Of course, looking spectacular inside the gym and winning under the brightest lights in mixed martial arts are two completely different challenges, and that's where Max Holloway enters the picture. Unlike McGregor, Holloway hasn't spent years rebuilding his career. He spent those years fighting elite competition, refining his style, and becoming one of the toughest fighters the UFC has ever produced.
Like I said, man, weight is not about a number. You know, a lot of people keep saying, oh, he's small this, small that. We're gonna find out Saturday night, you know. It is what it is. So I can't wait, man. I'm grateful that UFC blessed me with this opportunity, and you know, against and good news. So at the end of the day, you know, I just can't wait to go out there and you know, have some fun.
Not to identify why it's a strength potentially.
I look at my rest period that I have had, whereas I look at other competitors in the space, including my opponent. I feel a lot more fresher than these opponents. I have had my time of rest. You know, I feel I am coming into my prime now. My prime is, I'm only entering my prime, and now and forever.
Every difficult fight has added another layer to his game, and many believe the version of Holloway preparing for this rematch is a completely different athlete from the young man who first shared the octagon with McGregor. That's what makes this fight so difficult to predict. McGregor's greatest weapon has always been his ability to make opponents fight his fight. When he controls the distance, lands clean counters, and forces hesitation, very few people in MMA history have looked more dangerous. Holloway, however, has built his reputation on refusing to slow down. He thrives when fights become chaotic, dragging opponents into relentless exchanges until the pressure becomes almost impossible to deal with.
Obviously, he's coming up against Max Holloway in a great fight. How do you see that matchup between those two?
Personally, I think because it's that welterweight, I see Conor knocking him out. Like, everyone's counting Conor out and thinks that Max is going to win. If it goes to the later rounds, yeah, Max definitely probably start piecing him up on the feet because he's got that cardio and the volume, but the fact that it's at welterweight, I think, favours Conor because Charles made Max look small at lightweight. So imagine how big Conor's going to look compared to him at welterweight.
The longer the contest lasts, the more dangerous Holloway usually becomes. But perhaps the biggest advantage McGregor has isn't physical at all. It's the unknown. Nobody truly knows what this version of Conor McGregor is capable of. Years away from regular competition have created one of the biggest mysteries in modern MMA. Has he developed new weapons?
Okay, round one. We're working hard, same thing every day. No ego, we leave our ego at the door. We're learning, working our shots, and preparing ourselves. Main event slots here at Straight Blast Gym, Ireland.
He is back for another signature win to prove that he is still one of the best, most skilled mixed martial arts athletes in the world.
Has training at a more natural weight unlocked another level of performance? Or has the time away simply created expectations that can only be answered once that cage door closes?
July 11th, which incidentally is 3 days before Conor McGregor's 38th birthday, okay? Not an old man, but certainly not a spring chicken by any accounts, and certainly when it comes to professional fighting. Now, you could argue that he's had 5 years away from the sport, which is true. That's 5 years of not having the wear and tear. That's 5 years of not going through training camps. 5 years of not getting punched on the face, taken down, choked out, all that kind of stuff. The wear and tear, he hasn't been going through that. The man's made an absolute fortune in and outside of the cage, so he hasn't had to do that. He's been chasing business ventures and enjoying himself outside of the octagon. Fair play to him. That is the life that he's built.
Well, we know that Conor hasn't been in the game for a long time, and I think a lot of people are thinking that he's just going to lose everything, but that's not the case. He's going to be dangerous. He's obviously going to still be very sharp, very explosive. Still got a good eye. Is it the exact eye that he had when he was double champ and doing what he was doing? No, probably not, but still going to be very dangerous. And I know Max is going to respect that. Obviously, they're going to want to put on a show, but at the same time, you're going to know Conor will be very dangerous early. I think Max will make the right decisions to not just get in the fire straight away, and then start to work him later in them rounds. So we know that Conor, again, very dangerous, very explosive, but that is going to wear on you. And with that big layoff, even though he's probably training very hard, we know that that's going to eventually wear on him, and that sharpness that I reckon he still has is probably going to deteriorate a lot quicker because of he's been out of the game for so long.
That's exactly why opinions across the MMA world remain completely divided. Some believe McGregor is about to complete one of the greatest comeback stories the UFC has ever seen, proving that the injury, the setbacks, and the years of criticism only made him stronger. Others believe Holloway's activity, experience, and relentless pace have created the perfect storm to finally defeat the biggest star mixed martial arts has ever known. The stakes couldn't be much higher. If McGregor wins, the entire UFC changes overnight. Conversations about champion